Today, we're talking about a name you definitely know, Henry Ford. His name is basically synonymous with the car itself. But what's really incredible is that he didn't just build cars. He pretty much built the modern world as we know it. And this is the story of how a farm boy completely reinvented industry. Just let that sink in for a second. In only 35 years, a young man who left home with next to nothing would go on to dominate a global industry so completely that half of all the cars on the entire planet had his name on them. It's just a staggering transformation. All right, so to really get this, we've got to go back, way back to the beginning. Because to understand the innovator, you have to understand the boy who hated farming, but was completely obsessed with figuring out how things worked. From his earliest days, Henry Ford was a tinkerer. He absolutely could not stand farm life, but he was captivated by machinery. When his dad gave him a pocket watch at age 12, he didn't just learn to tell time. Nope, he took it apart and put it back together, again and again, and got so good at it that he became the go-to watch repairman for his whole neighborhood. But the real spark, the real light bulb moment, came when he saw his first steam engine. That encounter turned his passion into an obsession, and at just 16, he'd left the farm for Detroit, totally determined to build the future. Now, here's the part of the story we often forget. Ford's huge success wasn't some overnight thing, not even close. It was actually built on a foundation of repeated, pretty crushing failures. His first venture, the Detroit Automobile Company, completely collapsed. Why? Production was just painfully slow, and his investors wanted a product to sell fast. They didn't share his vision for getting it perfect. His second try, the Henry Ford Company, ended when his backers brought in another engineer to basically take over. Ford, not happy about that, just walked away. And as a little side note, that company he left, it would later get renamed Cadillac. And this quote just perfectly sums up his whole mindset. For Ford, failure wasn't the end, it was an education. Each time a company collapsed, he learned these invaluable lessons about production, about control, and about vision that he would carry into his third and final attempt. So all of this learning, all this failure, it was all building towards his ultimate breakthrough. After learning from his mistakes, Ford was finally ready to chase his true vision, building a car for everyone. And this wasn't just some business plan, it was a mission statement. You have to remember, at the time, cars were these expensive toys for the rich. Ford had this wild dream of putting the average American family on the road, and this one single idea would drive every decision he made from here on out. So how'd he do it? Well, funny enough, the inspiration came from a visit to a slaughterhouse. He saw how they moved things along a line, and he completely inverted the entire manufacturing process. Instead of having workers move around to the car, he made the car move to the workers. And the result? It slashed production time from 12 hours all the way down to just 90 minutes. It was an absolute game changer. The scale of this revolution is almost impossible to comprehend. By 1914, the Ford Motor Company wasn't just the biggest car company, it was producing more cars than every other manufacturer on Earth combined. He wasn't just winning the game, he'd completely rewritten all the rules. But revolutionizing production created a brand new problem. His workers were miserable. The repetitive work of the assembly line led to incredibly high turnover. Ford's solution would, once again, stun the entire industrial world. In 1914, he did the unthinkable. He more than doubled the average daily wage, from $2.34 to a flat $5 a day. His competitors laughed. They were sure he was driving his own company right into bankruptcy. They could not have been more wrong. See, this wasn't charity. It was a strategic masterstroke. The $5 day attracted the best talent in the country, which instantly solved his turnover problem. It also allowed him to run his factory 24/7 with 3 shifts. But most brilliantly, it turned his own workers into customers who could finally afford the very cars they were building. Just genius. But here's the twist in the story. The very same qualities that made Ford a genius, his stubbornness, his absolute self-belief, his singular focus, would eventually become his greatest weakness. You see, the world was changing. Customers started to want more than just a basic, reliable car. They wanted style, they wanted comfort, they wanted options. But Ford, he refused to see it. He believed the Model T was the perfect car and saw absolutely no reason to change it. And the consequences were severe. While competitors like General Motors and Chrysler were offering all kinds of variety, Ford was offering one car in one color. The company that had once dominated the globe saw its market share plummet. By 1936, the invincible Ford Motor Company had fallen all the way to third place in its own home market. So in the end, Ford's legacy is defined by this powerful and maybe even paradoxical principle. He created a system that brought efficiency and affordability to the world on a scale never seen before, and he lifted millions into the middle class. And yet, his story also serves as this timeless reminder that the very same vision that builds an empire can also, if it's left unchecked, be the thing that brings it to its knees.